Part of a driver's job, whether they've had a good race or a bad race, is to name their sponsors. That's what we're looking for. Norris McDonald is going to be our good cop, and Jacques from Nissan Micra is going to be our bad cop. Both of them are going to be asking questions, and they will relay back to me how these drivers did. So I look forward to getting their input.
Bryson, congratulations. Without a doubt, that was one of the finest displays of race driving I've seen in my long and varied career. How do you feel about it?
I feel incredible. You know, it's been a long time since I've been able to get back in the car, and it's been awesome to be able to get back in and get right back up to pace and be able to be out there with fast guys and obviously be able to come out on top.
Hey Bryson, this is the worst performance I saw in my life. What are you doing in the middle of the pack?
Honestly, I just don't think my head was in the game. The car was doing really well. It's just a situation that my head wasn't in the game for it, and I think it's important that I focus more on moving forward ahead and making sure that it's a proper progression to do better. And it wasn't a good performance for the team. They were there for me and I didn't do well for them.
How did it feel for you?
Hey, thanks Norris. It was a good race. You know, the car was really good. You know, one of the earliest times I've been on the track here and in the car, so glad to have some success with it.
What are you doing in the middle of the pack?
Man, I just I couldn't. I made a mistake early and I couldn't really recover from it. So you know, I tried to work my way back through. But you know, sometimes you have days like that.
How did it feel for you out there?
I felt great. I like the handling of the micro car. It goes good. I like the small size car, and yeah, I think I'll get the hang of it pretty quick.
Qu'est-ce que tu faisais dans le milieu du peloton?
En tout cas, j'essayais de mon mieux. J'ai fait ce que je pouvais. C'est sûr qu'on essaye tout le temps d'être en avant le plus qu'on peut, mais on pousse nos limites, mais on essaie de pas trop en faire.
Farouk, congratulations. I don't think I've ever seen a finer display of race driving than you just put on there.
Thanks.
How did you feel about it?
It felt great. Car felt great. You know, I was just pushing, just doing lap after lap.
Hey Farouk, this is probably the worst performance I saw in my life. What are you doing in the middle of the pack?
Yeah, the car wasn't really where we wanted it. Soon, you know, we're gonna keep working at it and get it back up to the front.
How did it feel for you out there?
You know, it felt great. I can't thank my team more than enough. The Motorsports Agency and the MIA team, they really gave me a car to give me the shot to win.
What are you doing in the middle of the pack?
You know, it's just one of those days.
How do you feel about today?
Oh, I feel great about today. The car was fantastic. I think the team did a great job with setup, and yeah, had a super fast car all race.
What are you doing in the middle of the pack?
Well, I mean, I thought our performance was okay. We struggled a little bit with the car, you know, setup issues. Kind of got stuck in the middle of the pack, had a hard time getting around a few drivers there, but you know, I feel like we're making improvements, and I think next race will be a lot better.
Vincent, congratulations. Without a doubt, that was one of the finest race drives I've ever seen. How do you feel about it?
I feel really great. I feel like the team and we did a really good job. And yeah, I just want to thank the Motorsport Agency for giving me a chance.
Vincent, this is the worst performance I saw in my life. What are you doing in the middle of the pack?
Yeah, I know. It was a bit hard, but I feel like me and the team are going to work together and we'll pull this out. And by the end of the weekend, I feel like we're going to do great.
How do you see things?
I think that went pretty good. Pretty smooth.
What are you doing in the middle of the pack?
I was having a rough weekend. Lost. The car wasn't 100% there. Having some problems with the tuning.
How did it feel for you out there?
I mean, the car feels great. You know, it's been a couple of years for me since I've been racing, but it's great to be back, and hopefully I'll get a full season in Nissan and do some damage to the other driver.
What are you doing in the middle of the pack?
I don't know, sometimes happens. We have to figure some stuff out with the car.
How was it with you?
I felt really good. The car felt fantastic. The team's been working very hard. Been just ecstatic.
What's happened in the middle of the pack?
You know, there's a lot of battling, a lot of stuff that happens in the middle of a race. You know, you can only do so much from the middle of the pack. Our team still worked really hard on the car. I can't thank them enough.
Henry, congratulations. Without a doubt, that was one of the finest races I've ever seen anybody drive in my long career. How do you feel about it?
Well, thank you so much. That's such an incredible compliment coming from you. It was a tough one. I have to say it was tough. There was a lot of really fast drivers out there, and I had to give it my all. And these guys, they come from a lot of experience, so to be able to perform as well as I did in front of such an incredible crowd at this awesome venue, really, I'm speechless.
This is the worst performance I saw in my life. What are you doing in the middle of the pack?
You know, I'm so sorry to all my fans and my team especially. We tried so hard, and there was a delay on my part. I missed part of the first practice, and it was just we did the best, but it wasn't enough. And I know usually we're able to do better than we did this weekend, but next weekend we'll be back at the front for sure.
Sponsors are typically looking for somebody who's the full package, really provides social influence these days. That's a big word. Who can be an influencer, help sell a product, and be that perfect product ambassador. Based on some of these criterias, I've outlined what I'm looking for the motorsport agency and my expectations for my winning driver.
You know, racing, it's a question of money. I will give you $25,000. What the comeback of the investment I will have from you?
Well, I mean, obviously the idea is to, promote the company that's sponsoring me as much as possible. Basically do everything that I can to help the company, because I know that it is always about what I can do to help the company that's supporting me.
Why would we pick you among the others?
I feel like I really have the best shot of getting into the car and being able to, run consistently up front, I think, fairly early.
What have you done to promote the brands that sponsor you or help you?
My goal was to obviously create a positive outlook on their company, and I think I did that well. I talked about their company and what they do, as well as my parents' company, which helped sponsor me.
Why do you think that we should select you?
I have a very good outlook. I'm a very mature person, even for my age. With my previous record, even though I don't have the same amount of time in the car, my results show that I can put the car at the front even with less time.
If you were picked as the driver, how would you help us in getting our message out there?
Social media is a big aspect of it, so over the winter I actually just started my Instagram page. I've been pushing that. I have a couple of people in Florida that repost my stuff, and that gets me more followers, so I would push the Stone Ridge brand on my social media, mention them in every comment, post. Any event I'm at, I'd be mentioning all the sponsors, letting them know.
Good, and as far as the tires go, you've had some experience with Bridgestone. How do you feel about promoting another tire brand like Pirelli?
I feel great. I actually ran Pirellis on my own car, so that's the tire I ended up sticking with. One of the best tires I've driven on.
What attracted you to this competition for the Nissan Micro Cup?
The level of professionalism that's in it, it really sparked me. This is the path that I want to go, and I just took a shot at it, and I'm here today with everybody here.
What do you have to offer to sponsor?
Everything on track is one thing, off track is another. So off track is all marketing. It's not only at the track, it's what you do outside of the racetrack. I'm a cool-headed driver, but I also work well with the team. The team is what makes everything. And if I have a great team, they will be the one powering me to the front.
You're coming from the Pirelli World Challenge, driving very powerful car. How can be a Nissan Micro Cup driver in Canada? Could be a dream.
See, specifically, I was racing in the Touring Car B class, which is cars like a Honda Fit or Mini Cooper. So it's actually cars almost identical to the Micro Cup. And really, I have a pretty good amount of experience that would equip me well to be able to contend towards the front of the championship, even though it's already been going for a couple of years and there are experienced drivers.
Do you want to race in primarily North America? Do you want to go to Europe? What's your ambition?
I've driven open wheel a bit, and I really do prefer the sports cars. They're generally much larger competitive fields. There's a lot more to do. Like in open wheel, in the US at least, there's just the Mazda Road to Indy. In sports cars, there's so many different series and different regional and club stuff. And it's much more appealing to me in the level of competition and diversity there is.
What do you think about the this kind of series, the monotype series like the Micro Cup?
I've been interested in the Micro Cup for a while, especially when it first started. I thought this is a great way to introduce myself into an automotive field.
Good. I represent Pirelli, so how relevant do you think the tires are?
So go-karting we don't use Pirelli, but trying them out on the Micra here, I like the compound, but I know I can support them. I can support Pirelli pretty efficiently.
And why we will have to keep you than the other guy?
I can offer more of a technical background. I know how to work on cars. I know some of the newer equipment that's coming out. I will be learning and studying the newer equipment. Therefore, I can do more than just drive the car.
How would you go about promoting us if you were sponsored by us?
I would like to do my private social media network and create some movies, some photos, do it through Snap, through Facebook, through Twitter and Instagram.
One reason to pick you?
I think I might be the best guy because I love to learn. I love to learn new techniques, and my dream is to be the champion one day, and I want it. I know how it feels, and I want to do it all over again, all the time.
So the Nissan Micra car is not sold in the USA. How would you, as an American, be relatable to Canadians in trying to expand the brand in Canada?
Yeah, I've kind of been pondering that myself, but I did see that Nissan recently did an event in New York City with the Micra. I don't know if it was for awareness to Americans or for Canadians. I don't know exactly who the target demographic was. It would be good opportunities to, if there was interest in maybe bringing the Micra to the States with the new generation car.
How would you go about promoting the sponsors?
I'm on social media. I recently started, Instagram and Twitter and all that, and feel like I've gotten some pretty good support there, and would do kind of what was asked for the sponsors that are involved, all of you that are sitting around. There might be some opportunities there of maybe brands that are big in Canada that now there's an American driver in the series that might be able to push something to Americans.
And why do you want to race in the Nissan Micra Cup? The Micra Cup is a 106 horsepower car. You are used to very powerful car.
The car being under horsepower isn't really an issue because Legends cars are 140 horsepower. 90% of it's racecraft, and being able to adapt to that car I think would help me out a lot, especially in this series.
If you're successful in this audition and through the Motorsport Agency win this ride in the Nissan Micra Cup, what is your ambition going forward?
I would like to compete for a championship. I know the car is going to be fast. I want to go out and win. I'm here to win, I'm here to race, and if you're a racing car driver, you don't go out to win a race, you're not really a racing car driver anymore.
Sebastien, I'm working for a company by the name of NXT, and what we're doing is we're trying to introduce quality elements to other companies to decide, make the decision for them to invest. What should I tell them after having met you?
I'd be up to promote their stuff anytime. If they want me to be at a car show, anything, I'd be there the next day.
Why should it be you?
I think if I get to win this challenge, probably earn, because there's good competition. So
what is the attraction?
I've been looking to get into cars for a few years now, and it's the next reasonable step to make, I think, and yeah, it would be an honor to drive that car.
Vince, tell me, what do you think about sponsors?
Racing is an expensive sport, so if you don't have sponsors, we don't go racing on a weekend. So I think sponsors are really important. People want to show their product, how they perform on the track in the real world conditions. So that's a great opportunity for everyone to show their product and for the drivers to get a bit of help racing.
And what do you think is the most important for sponsors to decide and make the decision that I'm going to go with Vince?
Well, I think it's about three main factors. The first one I'd say would be heart. Second, I think it's more about education, because if you can't understand what the sponsors is trying to do or what the engineers are telling you to do or the team orders, you're not going to go very far in racing. And third, yeah, it's about talent.
Ladies and gentlemen, during the one-on-one sponsor interviews, it was important for me to take a step back because you needed to envision one of these drivers representing your brands. What are your thoughts?
I kind of like Henry more.
Why?
Well, he's young, he seems to learn really fast, and he seems very polished for somebody, very mature.
He's from California, how is that going to represent us?
It will create some attraction within the series to have an American coming I like Farouk as well. I think Farouk
Me
was
as well.
very mature. He had a very good answer when we talk about Pirelli tires. We have to see on the track, but in front of the camera, those two guys, I think, stand.
I got both those guys on my list. Now, I had the added attraction of doing an interview when they just got out of the car.
Right.
There was one person who did everything correctly there and performed pretty well here, and that was the first Mike from Edmonton. He was articulate when he got out of the car, talked about the Motorsport Agency, talked about the Nissan Micro Cup, and I thought he handled himself pretty well when he got up here. And I'll tell you, Greg was nervous as all heck when he was up here. He was the other guy when he got out of the car that said the right things.
Okay, gentlemen, ladies, I hear you. Quickly, let's go around the table. Tell me what your thoughts are.
For me, it would be Farouk.
Morse for me. Yeah.
Same thing for me. Henry Moore.
Henry.
My pick is Henry.
Farouk. First, Mike.
Okay, I have to take this all into account, and I appreciate your advisement. We'll see who wins.
Gentlemen, you ready for the real deal? All right, one at a time, take it easy, don't drive above your head. If you get into trouble, and I saw it twice this morning, don't overcorrect. Once this thing bites, it bites hard, okay? Be good, be safe, let's go.
Gentlemen, it's been an incredibly challenging 2 days, especially with the weather. Are we prepared to make a decision? Derek.
Henry Morse.
Jacques.
Vincent Doyle.
JP.
Bryson Schutte.
Norris, you are the deciding factor. Are you prepared to make a decision?
No, I'm not ready. We still have things to discuss.